You have to be optimistic. You have to always think you can do better and the future will be better, or you won't get anything done. If you go into it, I was a consultant to General Motors for a while. I was in a meeting and the guy said, we want to make our light trucks 50% recyclable. So, dude. It's like saying, I sure hope I get a C in this class. No, you want your trucks to be 100% recyclable. You want 100%. You want to do it perfectly. That's the goal, not halfway, for crying out loud. And so that is why I'm always so charmed and so enthusiastic and so excited about space exploration. Space exploration brings out the best in us. So this is a picture from our spacecraft, the Planetary Society's light sail spacecraft, which we flew last summer. Does anybody remember? Planetary Society, I love you, man. Whoa, man. Thank you, yes. So we flew this spacecraft. It's so shiny and so low mass. How shiny, how low mass is it? That it gets pushed through space by photons. But hold it, photons have no mass. How can they have momentum? They do. You can do it in classical physics or quantum mechanics, you get the same answer. But this solar sail spacecraft is a very modest spacecraft paid for by 46,000 people around the world who just think it's a cool thing. It is going to democratize space. Once you get up on orbit, as they say, this spacecraft could take you to all sorts of extraordinary places in the solar system if you've got time. You trade rocket fuel for time, because there's no fuel once it's up there. And Carl Sagan talked about this back in 1976. And the solar sail program was abandoned for the space shuttle program under this downsizing NASA to a reasonable size, no longer fighting the Cold War. And it took 39 years for his vision to be realized, but it was realized. I was in Senator Barbara Mikulski's office in the year 2000. There's my predecessor, Lou Friedman. Yeah, which of these guys is an engineer? Yeah, Lou, I think that's you there in the gray suit. And then there's my best buddy, James Cameron. It's not really my best buddy. I met him, okay, I met him. But we were petitioning Ms. Mikulski to have a mission to Pluto. Well, she went for it. We had 10,000 postcards, people around the world who thought it was cool. She went for it, and in 2006, we launched a mission to Pluto. And then last summer, as you may know, we got these extraordinary pictures. So the people who did this thought this would be cool. We know it's going to take a long time, but we believe in it. They wrote postcards to the Planetary Society. We had a very small role in getting the senator to be aware of this, that people wanted this mission. And in her district is the Applied Physics Lab. It's like the Jet Propulsion Lab. Instead of being JPL, it's APL in her district, her state. And so it got funded there. And you don't hear that much about APL because there's a lot of military stuff and spy satellites that get built there. But it was successful, and it had carried this optimism. They started this thing really in the 1990s. They got serious about funding it in the year 2000, and we got this picture 15 years later. That's just cool. And by the way, everybody, that spacecraft cost about $600 million, which you guys spent this morning on something. $600 million over 15 years just isn't that much money. And then also this last October, everybody here was around when scientists really convinced themselves that there are recurring lineae of water flowing on Mars. Mars has liquid water flowing on it every Martian summer. My friends, everywhere we find liquid water on Earth, everywhere we find living things. So is there something alive on Mars?